basketball now. Lakers coming off an NBA title with two of the best players in the league, with the odds to do it all over again next year. You'd think they'd settle into that success, but no. Apparently, they're far from satisfied. According to a report, Lakers are interested in trading Kyle Kuzma and Danny Green for four-time All-Star DeMar DeRozan. All right, Chris Broussard joining us now. Broussard, good morning. What do you think? Would this be a smart move?
I don't love it. Obviously, DeMar DeRozan is a much better player than either Kyle Kuzma or Danny Green. He would be a bona fide third scorer for sure, and he can also make plays for his teammates. Here's the problem: fit. Notice all those highlights. They were in the mid-range. DeMar DeRozan, it does not really fit what the Lakers need. The Lakers need 3 and D guys, and DeRozan is not good at either. Not only does he not make threes, he doesn't take threes. The last 2 years, he averaged 1 3-point attempt every 2 games. Think about that. 1 3-pointer every 2 games. The Spurs had to jump through hoops last season to fit around him because he's such, he just doesn't take threes, and he's a really good scorer. So I don't like the fit. If you notice, LeBron and Anthony Davis, they need spacing. They want and love spacing. And DeMar would not bring that. Their Achilles heel as a team last year, or their weakness, was their lack of three-point shooting. They were in the bottom third in both the regular season and the playoffs. They would get worse in three-point shooting if they made this deal. Look at LeBron's third stars historically. They become spot-up three-point shooters. Chris Bosh in Miami, Kevin Love in Cleveland. We've seen off-the-dribble scorers struggle with LeBron, Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose. So, look, if he would come off the bench and own that second unit and be a scorer, maybe. But overall, if I'm the Lakers, I continue looking elsewhere for guys that are better shooters, 3 and D guys, than for DeRozan in this trade.
Chris, that's such a strong take. And that's shocking coming from a resident NBA expert. What do you mean it's not a good fit? This doesn't remind you of LeBron James and D-Wade? D-Wade wasn't known for his shooting. D-Wade wasn't in the prime of his career playing defense. This is really good for them. Like, come on, coming from a resident NBA expert, I am shocked. I love DeRozan.
Is Anthony Davis going to become Chris Bosh? Is Anthony Davis going to become Chris Bosh? No, Anthony Davis is going to play his game. DeRozan's going to be exactly who he's been the last 7 years. A guy's going to come in and give you 20 points. A guy's going to come in a game, and a guy's going to come in and give you 5 to 6 rebounds. That's DeRozan. That's why this is such a really good fit. So I'm shocked that you went that way and was so strong with your take.
So I lean closer to Broussard's side than to Brandon's side. I don't hate it. And the reason I don't hate it is because, A, it gets Kuzma off the team. That would be great. Yikes. B, it does not tie up money long term. DeRozan makes a lot of money, but it's only 1 more year. So it would keep the Lakers in free agency for the following offseason when they can maybe target another true star or just fill out the roster better. And B, whether he comes off the bench or not, he could play most of his minutes with a bench unit and be that creator scorer they need. So I understand it. But what no one has mentioned is the biggest reason I wouldn't do it, aside from the spacing. He is an aggressively bad defensive player. And the Lakers won the championship because they were the best defensive team in basketball. And Danny Green brought 2 things to you. One was defense, and the other was, even though in the postseason he could not make a shot, watch the games. Nobody was leaving him open. They still respected him in the corner. So he still created spacing, even if at the time he didn't deserve to create the spacing. So if I don't think this would make the Lakers worse, but I do think the floor would get compacted and I think the defense would suffer greatly. I would far rather them target Dennis Schroeder if he were available, potentially maybe Victor Oladipo, but I don't think they're able to get him. But I think there are better fits because if you're going to make a big move like this, I don't want to sacrifice shooting and defense. Defense, which was their calling card, Wilds, and shooting, which was their biggest need last season throughout the year and into the postseason.
Yeah, it also leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Like, the Lakers can add a piece, but you don't get to add a 4-time All-Star averaging 22, 5, and 5. I'm not saying it's Durant to the Warriors, but it's in the same arena. And for a guy that's been nothing but loyal and was kind of...
What? Yeah.
Yes, it is. You're adding a star. You can get a piece.
Even close.
You just said you want Dennis Schroeder, you can get Dennis Schroeder. You can get Dennis Schroeder. That's fine.
Did you
can't get like an All-Star.
Compare
When I got an
NBA
and DeRozan?
It's in the...
Did you really just do that?
I said specifically, it's not Durant to the Warriors. It's in the same arena. If Durant in the
It's not
Durant is
even
on
the
center
same
court,
planet.
DeRozan to the championship Lakers for a 1-year rental is somewhere in the skybox. It's in the same arena.
No,
Broussard,
it's not.
since
It's not in the
DeRozan's unhappy,
skybox.
it is. You can go either way, Broussard.
It's
in the same arena. It's in the same arena.
I'll say
Broussard,
this. I don't hate it, but there are other things I would rather do than this. But I don't hate it. I'm not saying it will ruin the Lakers, but I just want to make that clear. I just don't like it a lot.
Oh, I thought you hated it. All right, real quick, Broussard.
I don't hate it, but I
lost it.
don't love it.
Go on.
You lost it. You got to grab these things when you have the camera on you, Wilds. The other big story in the NBA, Russell Westbrook wanting out of Houston. Our friends over at Fox Bet listening to Kevin Wilds with the Knicks as the team most likely to trade for Russ, followed by the Clippers, Pistons, Hornets, and Bucks. Yesterday, though, Nick brought up a potential Russ trade to the Blazers involving C.J. McCollum, to which C.J., who was probably sitting around having a cup of coffee, relaxing into his morning, watching First Things First, only to hear Nick Wright mention his name in a trade, laughed out loud. And then he took to Twitter to continue the laughing of the out loud.
Hey,
Nick, C.J. doesn't want to see Russ in Portland, but where do you want to see Russ next season?
Well, hold on. This can't go unacknowledged. CJ, I was trying to get you to a better situation, buddy. Houston is a better city than Portland to live in. I do believe if tour, Harden's better than Lillard. I was trying to do you a solid, and you send out the laughing emojis. So I'm going to speak a cold, hard truth about C.J. McCollum right now. Hey, C.J., your wine stinks. You gave us all those bottles when we were on the show. We took them. It's no good. Your wine stinks, CJ. Take that. You're gonna knock down my trade proposals when I'm trying to help him out. All right, to answer this question, here's the deal on Russ, Broussard.
Wine was
I don't think a winning team wants him. I don't think a winning team wants Russell Westbrook. I think Russ, if he's going to run his own team, that's fine. I think it's going to look a lot like what the Thunder looked like the first year without Durant. High usage, ton of fun, Russ going 1,000 miles per hour, playing inspirational basketball, and then fighting for 45 wins. Russ has not evolved, and at this point, with $132 million left on his contract for 3 seasons, Broussard, I do think Wilds is right, that it's going to be a team such as the Knicks that just wants to compete for the playoffs, not for a championship, unfortunately, for my guy, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, look, if I have to answer the question, where do I want to see him next year? I'm going to be honest. Houston. The best thing for the Rockets and for Russell Westbrook is to kiss and make up. Because as Nick said, no contenders really looking to have him. So if Russ leaves, he'll go somewhere, put up big numbers, maybe make the playoffs. But his days of playing significant postseason basketball will be over. For the Rockets, you're not getting a current star in their prime. For Russell, who's going to make you better or maybe even what you are right now. So the best thing is for all of them to sit down, Raphael Stone, the new GM, Steven Silas, the new head coach, Harden, sit down, work it out, and come back next season. If they can't do that, then yeah, I'd like to see him with the Knicks. If they can't do that.
Yeah, CJ, I got your back, man. Hey, Nick is just a little salty right now because his take wasn't that good. He's used to always getting his way. The wine is amazing, brother. But look, Wilds, I think you get what you want here. I really do. To answer your question, it's the Knicks. You've been talking about it for a while now. You've been trying to get every star that you can to the Knicks. This guy, man, he's still playing at an extremely high level. I think it will be good for basketball and also all of sports. I played for the Giants. That's right. I played for the Jets. I used to walk those streets, the concrete jungle, and all you hear about is the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks, the Knicks. People want to see the Knicks compete. People want to see them competitive. If that happened, man, the Garden be rocking. It'd be great for sports.
That's right. It will be rocking. It'll be empty with no fans, but it will still be rocking in our hearts and sort of in our minds. Here's the thing, Broussard. If you're in the West, if he stays with the Rockets, anything short of a championship, I would say, is a failure. Even Western Conference Finals, if they flame out and Harden has another dozen turnovers, and they'll be like, oh, the Rockets, here we go again. They failed. If he comes to the East, and on a 72-game season, you win 40 games, and you sneak into the 7 seed, he would be a hero, and he can get another triple-double. He does care about it, obviously. I think this makes sense for the organization and for him personally.
Well, I give you that. No matter how well it works with Westbrook and Harden, if they make up, they're not winning the West. They're not getting close to winning the West. So I'm with you on that. But if I'm the Rockets and I trade Westbrook for young players and assets, guess what? I need to probably trade James Harden. And I would send him to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons and then try to build around Ben Simmons. Put shooters around